Hello everybody. Today I have another strategy to share. This one I call Siren's Lullabye. After they released Liquid Voice, I realized that there was something fun you can do with the ability. And I decided to test it out several times and it was a little hard to pull off at first, but then I found the right Pokemon for the job, Araquanid. Most people are used to the water bubble ability. Lower the damage of fire, raise the damage of water, etc. Surprisingly, this wasn't a Mega Salamence, but a regular Salamence. Since I had to move this up to ×2 speed in order for the video not to last too long, I decided to just put subtitles there with the information that will be needed across the turns. Well, this Milotic was actually going to be trouble. It knew Toxic, which could shut down this strategy a bit. Luckily, a +2 Araquanid easily survived the fly. It has the Aqua Ring, it has the leftovers, and Oranguru had the taunt to shut down the Toxic. Here I am, full stockpile, Aqua Ring, leftovers. This is a tanky Araquanid. It is meant to live. And Oranguru, its job is done. It's time to switch out. Primarina comes in. Here is the fulcrum of the entire strategy. It's gonna be fun when it finally hits. I decided to go straight into it. I infested both of the opponents. They cannot switch out, and it lasts one turn longer than the Perish Song. But because of Liquid Voice, it's a water type move, which means Araquanid heals instead of taking the Perish counter. In later variants, the Primarina knew Sing, but in this one I was worried about tankiness, so I taught it Growl instead, which is technically another sound-based move, so it works with the theme of a Siren's Lullabye. Unfortunately, the taunt wore off, so Araquanid is now badly poisoned, and Primarina just has to survive into the next round in order to get the opponents. Like I might have said earlier, Infestation, I tested it. It lasts for 4 to 5 turns. And Perish Song, it lasts for exactly 3. So if you hit one opponent the turn before it, it's guaranteed to run out after the Perish Song already drops them. I tested that with my brother. I waited a turn to see when it would last, if it was 4 to 5 after or 4 to 5 with. It was 4 to 5 with, so the strategy works. And since Oranguru survived, I decided to switch it back in, reset the Trick Room. That will allow Primarina to get off the Perish Song a little more easily. And Araquanid also has the Leech Life, either further helping it survive by being tankier. This is Oranguru's last turn on the field. I decided I might as well leave him in, get the safe switch for Primarina. And here it is. The Perish count falls to 0. Salamence is down. Milotic is down. Luckily, none of the opponents were Soundproof, Storm Drain, or Water Absorb, so this strategy works perfectly. I actually decided to instruct the Blaziken, kind of call out the Protect. It might have been fully nice of me to say, hey, I know you're going to do nothing, so I might as well have you do nothing twice. But I was interested in seeing how Instruct into Protect worked. Primarina's in again. Here's a Leech Life, keeping that Araquanid healthy. I decided to go into the Perish Song quickly. I forgot whether or not I had Psych Up already on this version. I probably did. Because when I originally started this, I had Aromatic Mist and Growl, trying to keep Araquanid alive. But then I realized that keeping Primarina alive was important too, so I switched to Psych Up at some point. Perish Song is set again. It again healed Araquanid. It still has the Leech Life. It's still going strong. Okay, I do have the Psych Up. Now, upon review, I might have just used Perish Song again, since that will heal Araquanid. It does not matter whether or not it counts on other Pokemon. Toxic is starting to hurt, but you can see I'm surviving it for much longer than you might expect. There's a Protect, further stalling out the Perish counter. Leech Life, stalling out the Toxic. He read the Protect on his Blaziken, but he didn't do it with Metagross. And a fun switch in if a Ringuru goes down is actually this Shedinja coming in. As you can see, it's only level 20. That is practically level 1 for Shedinja since you need to evolve Ninjask. It's fun because it shares no weaknesses with the Primarina, so it's a perfectly safe switch in if they're not going for a stab attack. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to switch out Primarina, so that went down 2, leaving only Shedinja, which means I won with exactly 1 HP on my entire team. It was a fun battle, and it was really hard to pull off at first, but I got there. Again, this battle is also going to be double time. I did not want to bore you with a 30-minute video of 3 battles going like this. And this girl actually surprised me. She broke the strat, and I had to really, really struggle against it. And she got a lot of hacks as well. She led a Tapu Lele and a Zapdos. Psychic Surge, no priority. There was none on the field as far as I know. And the Tapu Lele went for a Dazzling Gleam. Araquanid gets the stockpile in early. Zapdos had the Thunderbolt. And here we go. Trick Room is set. It allows me to set up safer. There's the Instruct. Second stockpile in. And then an Aqua Ring comes in. I am now tanky and healing. There's another Thunderbolt. I survive. Dazzling Gleam. I go down. I'm starting to suspect that this may be a choice Scarf Lele and a choice Specs Zapdos. I could be wrong about that. I was wrong about the Zapdos. But now that I know that Primarina needs to survive while the infestation is set up, I decided to go for a Psych Up this turn instead. This allows me to survive even better against the Zapdos and other super effective hits. And there's the second infestation. Both the opponents are locked in for the next 3 turns. And here's the Perish Song, which will kill them after 3 turns. Water Absorb, unfortunately not healing too much this time around. But at least I can show off the strategy again. And there's where the Zapdos shows the leftovers. It is a healing, maybe a tanky Zapdos. Might have wanted to set up the Tailwind, but saw my Oranguru and decided, nope, can't run it. I get in my 3rd stockpile. I'm fully tanky. There's a Thunderbolt. It's protected. Still on the Dazzling Gleam. I'm pretty sure that is a Scarf Lele. And here's where I have some fun. I knew Zapdos was going to go for the Thunderbolt again, so I decided to switch out into the Shedinja. Shedinja, it'll be immune to that Scarfed Dazzling Gleam. It'll be immune to the Thunderbolt. And here's where I made a big mistake. I assumed that Thunderbolt was going to be coming onto the Araquanid since it is super effective, and Araquanid is proving to be the case. If he had merely focused down the Araquanid, he could have potentially critted it and killed it, and doing that automatically frees the infestation. Just like how you want to target a Gengar if it's a Perish Trapper. Unfortunately, this Zapdos had Discharge, which meant that he hit the Primarina on the switch in, and I could not immediately Perish Song the back row. Unfortunate for me. And here is where all the hacks started to happen. These moves have a 30, maybe 20% chance to flinch. Let's keep count. It is the Mega Gross, also known as the Mega Solgaleo. It has the Zen Headbutt. Here's the Rock Slide. I have the Focus Sash, which is lucky because I get the double flinch. My turn was wasted. Shedinja, I decided to be safe. I protected this turn. There's another Zen Headbutt. He went for another Rock Slide. And I flinch again. I have 3 stockpiles. I have an Aqua Ring. I have leftovers. I cannot use the Leech Life. I am in trouble. But I know that the threat is currently the Garchomp. Metagross did not try anything to hit the Shedinja yet, so I need to stop the Garchomp. But if Garchomp gets rid of Araquanid, then it can focus on Shedinja as much as it wants. So I decided to weaken both the opponents before actually making my move against them. I get another flinch, but I'm at 9 HP. This is going to be really close. Luckily, I decided to burn the Metagross as well. I'm at 24 HP on the Araquanid. This is getting too close. I got 4 flinches. I survive. I get the misses, and here's the Mud Slap. I have Mud Slap on this level 20 Shedinja. Accuracy is going down, and Rock Slide was not perfectly accurate to begin with. Here's another Zen Headbutt. 18 damage. I get the flinch again, but I decide to keep going for that Mud Slaps. I'm getting more and more likely to live. Metagross has not thrown anything onto Shedinja yet, or tried to, and Garchomp only has the Rock Slide. It is not a banded or scarfed Garchomp. It's been switching up its moves into Dragon Claw, but I am still getting the Mud Slaps. I had got an absurd amount of flinches. He almost won by flinch alone. I'm getting my Leech Lives in. I am getting slightly more health back every turn, and he is becoming less accurate as time goes by. This was a really, really close battle, and it showed me the big flaw after a week of running it. The big flaw being that if Primarina does not have high health when to set a non-Trick Room Perish Song, then it has a harder time actually pulling off said Perish Song for the back row. So I needed to make a variant that can handle that. I'll show one of those battles later, but Garchomp seems to have given up. It's using the Earthquake rather than Rock Slide. It knows it needs to get rid of that Shedinja. It's now at full negative accuracy. It is now 1/3 accurate and 1/3 of 80. That's maybe a quarter accuracy. I'm not going to try to calculate that out perfectly. I know it's the last turn. I went for an infestation earlier. I go for the protect on Shedinja to be ultra safe. I went for the Leech Life here. I lose about as much health as I gained. I have the leftovers, the Aquamarine. He's burned. He's infested. He goes down. Here's the variant I tried when I realized the back row problem. Unfortunately, it was too powerful. This battle against Wesley, as he wished, he let me have the longest battle with this team ever. A total of 4 turns. Here's the Glalie, here's the Oranguru, here's turn 1, setting the Electric Surge. Here's turn 2. If you see a Glalie, suspect this. It is powerful, it is fast, it has outsped a Tapu Koko into an explosion. That's a Telepathy Oranguru. In my previous set, I was running Inner Focus so that I could survive a Fake Out. Sacred Sword likely headed for the Glalie, but redirected to Oranguru, the only target left. Tapu Fini comes in, Araquanid comes in. I needed to get Araquanid tanky before I tried to take care of the Kartana. Luckily, he did a double protect. This is turn 3. Here's the stockpile. Since this is a new Oranguru, I can mess with the speed a little bit, make it faster and hence slower in Trick Room to allow for this Instruct. That's 2 stockpiles. You might have noticed I left the counter off on this version because the opponent immediately forfeited. And that is Siren's Lullabye, using Liquid Voice to try and stall out the opponents. I tried a Volt Absorb Entrainment Lantern with Ion Deluge, but it turns out that unless the user of Perish Song is soundproof, it'll be affected as well. So, bummer on that part.